So today, guys, we're here with Kadus to talk about racism and the Jack Leslie campaign.
Who is Jack Leslie and why is he important?
So Jack Leslie was a Plymouth Argyle player, played for us for 14 seasons, was a captain, and he was the first black player in Plymouth, and he was denied access to the England football team because of the colour of his skin, and that was a story that wasn't spoken about. Even when he did report it in the 70s, he had an interview, but it still wasn't really spoken about. And the whole idea of the Jack Leslie program is to spread awareness about his story. He had an amazing, brilliant story, which you can see some more information online, and also to let everyone know that we will be putting up a statue of him outside of Home Park to commemorate his accolades and to kind of remind people of the progress that we have made. What does racism mean to me? Racism to me is just someone who lacks education and someone who lacks the ability to accept others who look differently to them. And I think also it's a byproduct of how things were and maybe people not wanting to accept change.
Have you experienced racism and how have you dealt with this?
Yes, I have on many occasions. I'll tell a story actually. When I was in year 10, this was actually, I'm old now, but this was after England got knocked out by Portugal in the Euros. And I went to has anyone heard the air training corps, ATC? No? So basically like the RAF for kids, right? So I used to go to that. And we were waiting to get picked up by parents, and a bunch of guys came out of the pub and they were a bit leery. And he said some words which were a bit unsavoury, and it then ended up in, unfortunately, me and my friends being put in hospital because of that situation. And that was probably my first really big experience of racism. Then had I dealt with it, I had an amazing group of friends and family that were there to support me, and I was able to heal through that.
What is the impact of people's words when they use references to race and say it's banter or a joke?
Yeah, I think like anything, it's going to be very impactful because you don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what that person is experiencing or how those words would actually affect someone. So I think it's very important for us, and that's it kind of transcends race. But even when we look at sexism and anything where someone is different from us, we have to be very wary that our words do have a lot of power. So that person may be coming in to school one day and they may not be feeling the best. They may have seen something where that word may have been said, and then someone would have said it to them. It can have a very, very negative impact on their mental health, and I think it's on all of us to be very wary of that and to be mindful about our words.
This year, after England were knocked out of the Euros, 3 players received racist abuse online. What do you think of this?
It's unfortunately, it just shows that there's still a lot of work to do. And for me, when I heard about that, it was very sad because one, they were very young. I think Bukayo Saka was 19 years old, and he was talking about the countless amount of messages that he received, and for anyone, if their mental health isn't in the best place, they may have taken that a lot worse, right? So it made me feel very sad. It made me feel very angry, disappointed that even though we've had a lot of progress and we've seen a lot of black faces within the England team playing football, that these opinions and these thoughts still exist. But it's just a reminder that we've got a lot of work to do. And again, it's up to you guys, the new generation, to make sure now that we can help to combat that.
What advice would you give to the students at our school to make our school a happy, safe place for everyone?
The biggest thing that I would say is to be curious. Be curious in a good way. Ask questions, but for the most part, make sure that you're doing what you can to educate yourself and to educate others. So when you hear your friends talking about it, or when you hear other people talking about it, you can either report it, or if they're friends of yours, then speak to them about it. If you know why it's wrong to say it, then it should be up to you to be able to speak to them and say, well, actually, that may be deemed offensive. Let's look at how we approach these things. So just be proactive. Just make sure that again, if there's anyone around you who may look different to you, to ensure that they feel safe, they feel secure. But most importantly, making sure that you call it out, and making sure that you educate yourselves as well.
Any strong words would you say to the people that receive racist or bullying?
The biggest thing I would say is, first and foremost, don't harbour any sort of hatred towards people that have done that. Not everyone shares those views. Also, at the same time, power in community. So, even more so, one of the biggest things that I kind of held solace when I was experiencing it was, I had a lot more pride from where I came from, a lot of pride in my family, a lot of pride in what we've come through. And I think for me, I then appreciated the people that were around me that did know and did respect me. And you built a community there, right? And through that, you're able to kind of get support, healing, and at the same time, helping to educate others. So, it's a shame that we still have to experience these things. It's a shame that these words and actions are still happening. But at the same time, we should also make sure that we do the best that we can to love ourselves, and to appreciate the people around us that do support us.
And one last question: Are
Yes.
the Greens going up?
Yes, they are. We are top of the league.
Exactly.
Thank you guys. Thank you for your time.